Welcome to this episode of my Women Empowerment Wednesday show. My name is Jessica DSB. Enjoy this episode.
All right, happy Wednesday. It's Women Empowerment Wednesday. Welcome to all of you that be joining live. My name is Jessica. I am a coach, entrepreneur, 2 times best-selling author, and a world passionate traveler. Woo, who's excited? It's Wednesday. You're joining the Women Empowerment conversation this week. Can't wait to introduce our special guest. Before I do that, I just want to remind you, what is this about? Women Empowerment Wednesday show. It's been a weekly Facebook Live where we have conversations that are empowering, touching, inspiring. We pick a topic every single week with a special guest. And this is not only a conversation between me and the special guest, but this is a movement. I want this to be a movement where you bring those conversations in the people's lives, in your people's lives that you care about, your family, your friends. And a reminder to join my group, Jessica, the Women Empowerment by Jessica DSB, where you can find all the previous week's videos. I think we're at week 24 or something. It's like, wow. And reminder, I think we are at 346 members. At 365, I'm doing the draw of my book, 365 Empowering Stories. So invite the people that you love, invite the people that you care about, join the group. I provide content every week. It'll be such a pleasure for you to be part of that community. And so, hello, Kosi. Hello, Alain. You know Alain. So, let me introduce our special guest for this week, Madame Sylvie Plante, which is somebody I've gotten to meet 2.5 years ago-ish. And she's a former corporate human resource executive. She's an international experience, all these words, sorry. Expat to Paris for 3 years. She loves to travel and personal development. We will dive into that today. I'm super excited. High performance and mindset coach, business owner, 2 home-based online businesses. She is so passionate about being a contribution to people's lives. It is such my honor to have you with me today. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm blessed that you have invited me, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of fun during this conversation.
I have no doubt.
We will have to stop ourselves, I'm sure, at some point.
Right, you're a minute on the time. Alain says, bonjour, mesdames. Hey.
Bonjour, Alain.
So let me hear a little bit more about who you are, because of course, in the few sentences, that's not enough to describe who you are. So let me hear from you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Well, you know, I realized that I had a long career in human resources, and I was a business-minded person, you know, like very high performance, performance, high achiever, etc. And what I realized within the last few years is that I always had a passion for people, you know, and when I was doing my HR job, even though I was doing it like very, like I said, like achiever, performer, it was always about the people. And I had good testimonial of people, you know, that saw me 10 years or 20 years even after, and they said, oh my God, are you Sylvie Plante that worked in HR? And I said, yes. Oh my God, you helped me so much. Okay. And now what I am now, who I am now, is really very aware that that's what fuels me. Okay, it's to be a contribution, but now I'm seeing it differently. I found the way that I think represents the best is that I am the opportunity and the space for people to create a life by design. And that's really what I want to do. And that's what fulfills me. And you know, in life, they say we never do anything absolutely altruistically. That's a hard word for a French one.
Today's
Um,
topic, hard words.
yeah. So, because we always do something for us, okay?
Mm.
And what it is that it fulfills me to know that I can make a difference, to know that I can create that spark in someone, or that little thing, just openness, or making them see something that will shift them and be able to reach their goal, or create, what they want. I had a conversation with a guy. He was in a relationship. It was difficult, and it was almost at the breakup. And I spoke with him for an hour, and now he asked her in marriage.
Oh, wow.
So, it's like I had that impact.
Mm.
So now I'm starting to assume that, yeah, that's the type of impact that I can have, and that's what I love. I can spend my day doing that. That's
Owning it,
yes.
right?
So yeah, so that's part of me, personal development. I could fill 3 lives. Okay, one life for personal development, one life for travel, and one life for whatever else needs to be done.
Let's all do it together.
Yes, but one fuels the other. So yeah, and I have cabin fever. I can not wait to travel again. But anyway,
Tell me about it. Oh my God. I love what I'm hearing. I'm already touched. I'm already inspired. So if you're watching live, type live in the comments. If you're going to be watching replay, type replay. I want to know who watched it. Hey, Spiro. Hey, Max. Hey, Irving. How are you? Hello, Roxanne. Welcome. If you're watching live, type live. Join this conversation. I want to hear what you guys have to say about what you're hearing, right? So let's dive in the topic for today. How I got to meet you was through a business, but the most, like, to me, what I remember of our meeting is when you invited me to a presentation for a personal growth program called Landmark. Yes, we talked about it last week. If you've been following me, I guess it's gonna be again this week. And I first went there to support you for sure, but I was shocked to what Landmark had to offer. And it's been such an incredible journey, my personal growth and the people that I've been able to meet. So I really want to acknowledge you and thank you for doing that for me, because it completely transformed my life in so many areas, with the relationship with my family, with my exes, like so many gifts that I've been able to receive because you decided to invite me. So I really wanted to thank you and publicly acknowledge you, how incredible you are.
thank you. But it's so funny, because for those people that know or heard of Landmark, a lot of people say, "Oh, people, they're bugger. They want absolutely that I go to a presentation. I don't want to go."
Yeah.
And for the people that I've done, I had done the forum and a few classes, a course before I invited you. And for the people that I've lived it, we know how powerful it is, and we want to share it so much. And I have to say, it takes guts to share it, because a lot of people have, a different perception of what it might be. They've heard stories or whatever, and it takes gut to persist. I didn't have to persist with you. You said yes right away. But with some people, we say we have to stand because but that if they would do it, it would make such a difference. Is it the only thing in life? No, there's plenty of other programs. And I mean, Landmark is not the program, but it is very powerful. And on top of what you get, what I feel is also the people you get to connect, because of the community, which you don't have in the other program as well, as much, and that's one. I've met so many friends, and I love working with Landmark people that have done the forum or other, because it opens up communication, it opens up a whole bunch of things that makes it so much more worthwhile. So.
Right. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking of what I told you just before the call. When I do these calls with people that have done Landmark, I know if I said 2:45, they're on the call at 2:45. It's like that's what you learn. You learn how to be living your life with integrity, in integrity with your word. And so 245 is 245. Of course, life happens. Of course, things happen. We're not perfect. That's not what we're saying. And I'm not paid by Landmark either.
Neither.
Okay, just disclaimer. Has
Not at
nothing
all.
to do. Okay, we're just sharing our personal journeys and how this specific program, and like Sylvie shared, there's so many available programs out there. We're just sharing our experience with this one. So thank you again for doing that. And let's dive in our today's topic, because we are going to talk about personal development. I know it is a topic that came over, weeks after weeks, because it is something that's very important in my life, very important in many people's lives, and it's something that we need to talk about. But I also want to talk about being a contribution. And what does that mean, being a contribution, to you, Sylvie?
Well, if I can say before, if you don't learn, you don't grow. Okay, and if you don't grow, you go back. Okay, you don't only stagnate; people pass you, so you always need to grow. Always need to develop yourself. What it means being a contribution, for me, I would say is listening to people for what is there for them and how I can make a difference. Sometimes we want to help people, but we don't necessarily help them with what they need. We think we know what they want, or we think and we say, okay, let's do this. Or no, you have to really have conversation with people, listen what's there, and go beyond the obvious, and then see how you can make a difference, what you can suggest. Like the way I do my coaching is that I see myself as being a guide that will accompany someone throughout a period, and I'm going to recommend different programs, different things. I'm not going to be the coach all the time. Because if I know that this program is going to help someone more than 3 hours of my coaching for the same price, I'm going to say to that person, go take this course. I'm going to be the fil conducteur, okay, the thread. But it's really to make sure that you do what's best for the person, and that really they can shift. There's something that can shift in their life. And for me, being a contribution is knowing that I've been able to make a difference. Sometimes it's a small one, or sometimes people are going to realize it later. But it's knowing that I've been able to impact someone.
Isn't it incredible, right? When you get those testimonies that you didn't really think you made that much of a big impact in that person's life, but then weeks or months or years after you get a testimony from them, you're like, what? Like, okay, like I was being, a contribution. I was listening and I was guiding you through from my experience and from what I've been learning. It's just, I've been having incredible testimonies in the last 2 weeks. It's just mind blowing, like I'm so grateful.
It's being available for people as well,
Right. There's so many aspects.
Non-judgmental as well,
Yeah, and asking questions, right? Because what I've been through or what you've been through, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Right? So asking questions. Okay, so personal development. What is the importance of doing personal development to you?
Oh my God. I started personal development when I was 16.
Wow.
Okay.
You're just 29 now, right?
Yeah. Thank you. The first thing I did was read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by John Murphy. By John Murphy. That's the first book I read. I was 16. And around 18, I did, I don't even remember the name, but it was a self-expression, Sylvie Bergeron, like positive and working on your strength and who you are. So I've always done that. I have a thirst for learning, and that thirst makes it that, how can I say, you developing yourself allows you to cope, if I can say, with life events differently.
Mm.
It opens your world, because the more personal development you do, the more you can be aware of how you are, how you behave. We'll never be perfect. Okay, one of the program I do with wisdom is with Landmark is called Wisdom, and the only thing we say is that we keep practicing. We're human being doing human being things, but I'm aware now of what I'm doing, and if I'm doing something that I feel is not serving me or is inappropriate, I notice right away, and I'm able to call a person and say, "Well, I'm really sorry. I should not have um,
Reacted that way.
reacted this way." You know, that's one thing. Or you can understand why you're doing a given thing. So it brings a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
And in my case, I think that the more I'm doing, the more I'm able to live in the present and live with life as it comes. It is what it is.
Mm.
And, you know, what is the best you can do with the situation that is in front of you? And so all kinds of personal development is really about awareness and opening your mind so that anything that you're living, you're able to either adapt or improve or have a better relationship. Be in communication in relationship. Most of the time, why relationship fail, it's because there's no communication.
Right.
No, people assume that the other one should know. People, but they're the first one that if someone tells them, "Well, how did you want me to know?" But that's how you react to other people. You expect them to know what you meant,
Right.
and what's in my mind, the word that gets out, the word that you hear, and how your mind interpret it. There's four places where it can be distorted. Okay, but the more development you're going to do and being aware of that, you know, the impact of your communication, you know, and I had a very difficult situation in the last 4 years, and if it weren't for those programs, I probably would be in a big depression. Likely. Because I would have felt more victimized or more on the negative aspect of what was going on rather than keeping my goal alive and doing what was needed to reach my goal.
So what I'm hearing is how the impact of doing regular personal development helps you go through tough situations, because as I say often, we're all going to go through tough situations. Yay! If you didn't know, yes, we're all human beings. We are, as you know, as a worldwide population on this planet, we are going through a tough situation, right? So everybody's going through that different, ways, but we are going to go through tough situations. So doing the personal development will help you, like you said, cope and having better tools to manage and deal with that tougher situation. Just want to say hi, Billy. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Hello, Claire. Welcome. If you're watching live, type live in the comments. If you're going to be watching replay, type replay as well. So do you have a daily routine of personal growth?
Yes. Well, and for me in personal growth, I've added what I can say, my morning ritual. With now I do some sort of meditation. I do some motivational type video, because I don't know if you know, but it's been proven that we have about 80,000 thoughts in our head per day, and 80% of those are negative. Okay, our mind, our body is defaulted to go negative because it's preventing, from the prehistoric. They were just in survival mode. So the body is programmed to prevent something going wrong. Okay, so the mind by default always go there. So it needs very conscious awareness to push those. So that's why one of the other reasons why personal development is so important, because that helps you see this. And when you're open to personal development, you're open to possibilities. You're open that things are possible rather than saying, oh no, it won't happen, I'm a victim. And it also, as I said, to get back to the routine, I do that. I do some affirmation. I do some, and then I have, depending on the type, I have at least an hour, if not two, of personal development per day. So either a training online, either reading, meetings on, but there's not a day that I don't have about 2 hours a day.
Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing. Very, very inspiring. And, if people are watching and maybe are new to personal growth, there's many ways. There's not a perfect way to do it, right? Some of the ways that I did and Sylvie did, reading books and trainings on YouTube. There's so much you can go for free. You can hire a coach. You can do some programs like Landmark. There's many out there. Bob Proctor, we were talking about Tony Robbins. There's so many, and there's a lot of free ones as well. So there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things. And don't be scared to reach out. If you don't know where to start, or if you want something specific and you need guidance, reach out to people.
Yes. Right. And to that point, yes, there's an abundance of training and personal development and books. However, one caution is that, knowing doesn't make a difference. You need to apply and get it. So the books, and I'm going to get the best example of that. 60% of us are overweight. One of the topic that there's the most books on or programs are on weight loss. Why is it that we are 60% of us, So knowing doesn't make a difference. Right. Knowing helps, but it's from the knowing how you can apply it. And who you have to be is you need to be so that you can do and then you can have. And until you become, you cannot necessarily do and have what really you want. And all of that has to do also with your self-image, working on your self-image. Sorry, I'm losing my track.
No, it's okay.
On the knowing. Okay, so go seek help at some point, or like some people are going to say, okay, why is Tony Robbins or Landmark different? Okay, or Bob Proctor? Well, because they make you do some work. You just not hear something. It's just not I read or okay. And most of yes, you're going to learn a bit from, but where you're going to maximize the impact of your personal development is when you have practice. So it may be through coaching, like you say, seek help. You might read a book and then get someone who specializes in that topic and then have them work with you through that.
Right. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Gabrielle. Alain says, I'm alive with you ladies. Thank God you're alive. My God, we need you to be alive.
We miss you.
You're such a contribution. We need you alive. And Alain says, I'm almost not overweight, and I almost know it.
Same humor, right? This Alain. Oh, I miss him. I miss his humor.
It's Alain, don't ever transform that humor part of yourself.
No.
I love it. There's a quote that you mentioned to me a few days ago when we talked, and it was along the lines where your goals should be that you learn so that you can share it. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. Thank you for raising that, because for me it was a huge breakthrough in June. I did the 5 days comeback challenge with Tony Robbins, and at that same weekend, parallel, there was a paradigm shift with Bob Proctor, and both said the same thing. Your purpose should be to learn so you can share, because that's when you share that you help people or you can be a contribution. And it struck in my mind because I said, that's what I love. And Bob Proctor said, You know, my hobby is personal development and learning. And I said, oh my God, I finally can say I have a hobby. Okay, because when people ask me, what's your hobby? So, you know, and the breakthrough that I had is that I can do what I love and I can earn money.
Woo.
Because these people are some of the people that make the most money in the world. And yet they're the most impactful people.
Right.
But they keep doing that. Tony Robbins has been doing it for 40 years, but Proctor for almost 60 years that he's learning and learning, and he still learns about the Think and Grow Rich book. He's an amazing man. I mean, I'm working with some coach, certified Proctor Gallagher coach, which are going to have an amazing webinar in 2 weeks, free webinars. And the material is powerful. They offer, but Proctor, you can have hours of him free on YouTube.
Wow.
Okay. But where it's going to make a huge difference is being coached
Right.
through the programs. Okay. But what they said is that, yeah, you learn to share. And then I said, okay, it's okay for me to make money because to do what I love, which is learning so I can share. Because the more I learn, the better I'm equipped to coach someone, the better I'm equipped to guide someone. And there's not a day. I mean, I have to stop myself because it's like.
You'd be doing 4 hours a day.
Oh,
right?
I could even do more, you know, like if you would see the numbers of book that I wish I could just take the book, you know, put my hand on it and it's read, you know. Yeah. And as I say, the more I do that, the more I'm able to, and I'm lucky, I have a very, my mind works really well at association and being able to do links and stuff. So when I speak to someone, I always say that coaching for me is easy. Not that it's not draining. Okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, I remember a day I did 6 hours of coaching. I can tell you at night I was dead. Okay, because it's draining. You have to absolutely be very concentrated.
Yes.
But I don't see it as work, and it's still easy. Why? Because I have all of that knowledge, and when somebody speaks and I listen, I'm able to go in a little drawer and bring something, and okay, I'm adding this thing. So I'm able to do a lot of links for people and may have them, see things that they would not see before.
You're making me present to when I was coaching in the winter time and we completed like spring, and I think one of my favorite parts was to acknowledge the participants of their participation, showing up every week, and then having that unexpected gift where they return and acknowledge me. And I was so emotional because I did, like you, like I felt I was there, I was listening, I was doing, but hearing them share authentically how much I'm impacting their lives, oh my God, like it was such a gift. Such a gift. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, and that's why I do it. Of course, I want to get paid. I need to get paid. But the thing, and I always say, I want to do 5 million. I want my online business to be very successful so that I can coach without having people to pay, because that's what I love.
And being there on your beautiful picture that I can't stop looking at. It's like
timeshare in Cancun that I'm missing so much. So, and this is a real picture. It's not a fake picture. It's a real picture. So.
I have to share this quick story about you, Sylvie. You know, we connected so much because I feel I'm just like a version of you, but just younger. That's, you know, because of the way we think, and we're so passionate about people and, you know, growing and all that stuff. So every time we talk, I'm just like feeling your energy. But I remember one of the few first times that we met. Oh, you're a flight attendant? Oh my God, which plane? What type of plane? And you know, is it a Boeing? And I'm like people don't normally ask me what type of plane I usually work on. And I was like, wow, this girl is a true passionate of traveling. She knows her stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I have a little vitrine there that has about 20 scales plane.
Oh.
Well, as a matter of fact, when I was 16, I wanted to be a pilot.
Oh,
But in
okay.
those years, a woman pilot, was very. And now looking back, I said, I guess I didn't want to be that much because if I had really, really wanted it,
Right.
I would have meant it. But I've always been passionate. One of my first presentation at school, I don't remember which grade it was, but it was on the 747. It was a brand new plane in those days. So it shows how old I am, because it was relatively new in the 70s.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but I'm fascinated. I would ask my parents to go to the airport just to see the plane take off.
Wow.
I simply love it.
So you'll be definitely one of the excited ones when trips and
Oh yes,
things reopen.
can't, can't
Oh
wait.
my God.
Yeah.
Alain says, I miss you too. Hey, Steven, my cousin, how are you? Alain says, I enjoyed coaching too. I met fantastic ladies when I was coaching. Thank you for being the best coach. Hey, Lynn, my tante Lynn, how are you? Oh my God. All right. So we're gonna slowly, close this call.
Because we could go for hours.
We could just be talking about planes. Come on, we'd have conversation for days and traveling. I love it. I love it. Let me just see what else. Okay, so I picked 2 quotes for today. And I actually wrote down 3, but I'm going to pick 2. What I wrote down is, if you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down.
Oh, yes.
And I thought this whole topic of, personal growth and
Yes.
passion for traveling, I was like, it all fits with this quote.
Absolutely. That's a perfect quote. Yeah, and we don't know how much of a baggage we have on our shoulder that we're carrying for nothing.
Hmm.
When we say leave the past in the past, that's a baggage that is waiting so much.
Yes.
So your quote is perfect. Yeah, if you want to fly. Yeah.
And it also makes me think along those lines is, you think what is the exact quote? What you think is who you are, or what you think is who you become. Like
Who you think yeah, I don't remember. But I know there's one that says whatever you think, if you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. So,
So along the lines of those things that are weighing you down, we're talking about the past on your shoulders, but we're also talking about those thoughts every single day. 80% are negative. So if you're present to those and you choose to, and that's another thing I wanted to share when you talked about it. A lot of people that have known me from the very young age identify me as, oh, Jess, you're always positive.
yes.
Right? I choose to be positive.
Absolutely.
I don't wake up smiling and jumping or going to bed like with this excitement. During the day, there's these roller coaster of emotions, but I choose to be happy. I choose. Go ahead.
Well, I want to share something on that because people don't realize the power of their words and on that specific thing. When I was at the beginning of my career, was about 20 something, there was a lady every day I would see her and I would say, how are you doing? She would say, not too bad. Thank you. Not too bad. She would say that every day. Okay. And hearing her, I said, how can you say that? It's an habit. And I started always saying, and I said it, but I did on purpose saying, I'm doing good. And now there's not a day that I'm not saying I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome.
Yes.
And when I'm not saying it, it's very rare. Okay. And really there's something and I pick myself up. And there's a friend who asked me, she says, are you always that upbeat? And I said, yeah, because I choose like you. I choose, it's important because you could let yourself be dragged down by anything. Okay. And it's a choice. If it's raining outside, you can choose to be happy or sad. The rain in itself doesn't create anything on you.
Right.
So it's really a choice. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable. And look, there's some people like Stephen Hawking. That's one of the biggest brain on earth. There's so many examples of people that we would say, oh my God, and they're happy because they chose to be. So yeah, thanks for raising that. It's
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Natalie. How are you? If you're watching live, type live in the comments. If you're watching replay, type replay. Let me know as well what you like about this conversation and what you'd like to hear in the next coming weeks, because every Wednesday I'm going to be here. And so the second quote that I want to share is, so much of who we are is where we've been.
So yes, but that should not define us.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about vacation.
Yes. Thing is that yes, but where we so much of who we are is from where we've been, but it doesn't
Right.
mean that we need to be stick with that.
Amen.
Keep the good and get rid of create something new.
Right.
The new you.
Yeah, and we're both examples of that, right? Me with, let's say my abusive marriage. I am who I am today, women empowerment, because I want to be that voice for other women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank God that I went through that tough situation, because it brought me here today. Right. Yeah. There's so many things where you can use examples as well in your life that brought you where you are today.
Yeah. And at the same time, you did not stay in I'm a victim.
Nope.
That's it. You chose to take whatever was good from there. And that's why you're right. What happened to us is who we are today, but we choose how it's going to impact us from moving forward. Absolutely.
Exactly. Oh my God, I love it. Lynn says positive. Alain says I will replay eventually. So are you sleeping on us or something? All right, I'm gonna let you close off with the last few words, what you'd like to share, summarize, conclusion, whatever you want to share in closing this show today.
Thank you. I think what I want to say is that anybody have dreams. Anything is possible if you choose so. And we so much go by default as to why it wouldn't work. Anything that you want, we go by default. Oh, it won't work. And the people around us, they want to protect us, and they're going to say, well, don't. And no, think it's possible. Dream. And it might be a small dream, a bigger dream, whatever. But think about opportunity. I'm where I am today because I've been always open to opportunities. I've always listened. Always. And you choose, and anything is possible if you believe that that's what you want and you're clear. I think one of the things that people don't have is clarity of purpose. And that's probably the first thing that someone has to work on. And a great book is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. So it's really, believe it's possible and just reach for your dream. Life is too short to stay put.
I love it, because I was gonna say the belief, even before you have clarity on your purpose, it's that belief. Like that's what happened to me, and I know it's for a lot of people. So if you have trouble believing in yourself, get the coaching, get the help. There's so many incredible people like Sylvie, many people that have that purpose of helping people, guide you through that and find your purpose, because life is amazing. It's beautiful. To enjoy it. I am so excited we had this conversation. Thank you so much for your time. It's always an honor to connect with you. I'm so proud of who you're becoming and where you're going. Can't wait to catch up, and you'll be making those 5 millions.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming.
I'll be visiting in Cancun. I'm coming.
And you'll be able to come as often as you want. Thank you. It was an honor that you invited me. I really enjoyed it. I love your energy and who you are. And like you said, we connected right from the bat, and it's been this way since then. And it's a blessing and a pleasure to have you in my life. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching. I will be back next week with another special guest. Don't forget to add yourself in my group and comment what you'd like to hear. What kind of topics you'd like to hear in the next coming weeks. Again, thank you all and have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share with the people that you love and care about. Jessica DSB.